Today is actually Real Spicy Radio episode 60.
Yeah.
We made it to 60.
60.
My God. It's been a minute. This is so cute. I love it. That's the first thing I thought of this morning. I was like, oh my God, this is episode 60.
It's
We should have
beautiful
had
number.
like balloons and stuff, but we're going to do it up for like 65. We're going to plan ahead this time. But
Well,
yeah,
66. That's a good number.
that is a good number.
3-3.
Yes.
It's good.
Yes.
Real Spicy Radio number 60.
yes.
I am Shanti Arise.
I'm Ashley, and I'm not stuffed today, thankfully.
Yes.
I'm so happy about that.
The allergies kicked everyone's ass. We had every single person on the team at Rise called out, had to like be like, I'm on my way, but I'm sick. And every time I'm like, you need to stay home.
Yeah,
I don't
I
want to see your
played-
sick ass.
I played the video back, and I was like, wow, I was really, really congested.
and I
didn't
was really,
realize.
really drunk.
Jeremy's really sick right now. So bendito.
Ay.
So happy Sunday. I hope everyone is having a great day, because by the time you guys see this, it's in the evening.
Yes.
But we have some interesting, quick topics today that I'm ready to talk about. But we'll start with the fishbowl, and then we'll get into the topics.
Yes. I'm excited. I've been liking this new YouTube life we're living. I'm into YouTube right now. Twitch is not really doing it for us. So, like, even last week, we didn't stream on Twitch. I think we're going to move towards streaming on YouTube and Spotify. We'll see. You know, we could do what we want because we're popping,
Yeah.
you know. So, I'm going to go first.
Let's go. Let's see what we get today.
Oh, no, I went first last week.
Did you?
Yeah, I
Okay.
did. I remember.
Vamos a ver.
Ew.
Have you ever disliked something and then changed your mind? Yes. Olives. Growing
Oh,
up,
yeah?
my mom always used to make arroz amarillo with olives. And I used to always be the little girl to like put all the olives to the side of my plate. And now I go to eat dinner and I'm always asking for some olives with oil and bread. And that's like my thing now. Like, I love olives.
Yeah,
So
those are
just to
good.
say
There's so
something
many
quick and
different
easy.
kinds, too.
Definitely olives.
Yeah, I mean, ooh, I know a good one. I used to hate seltzer water
Yeah?
and club
Oh,
soda.
yeah, kind of me too, yeah.
And I
now
love that
like
shit.
It. Mm-hmm.
But I did read somewhere that it gives you cellulite, so that's not cool.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I don't know though. Maybe not. We're gonna
Maybe
find
that's
out.
the reason why I have so much, because I
You
drink a lot
of that.
I drink a lot of
No,
seltzer
water is
water.
the answer.
Sparkling water, all that.
I love drinking water now too, which when I was young I fucking hated it.
I like to drink water. I just don't drink water as often as
You-
I know I should.
Yeah, I
I
drink a
have
lot
a
of water
reminder
'cause
5
of
times a
Jay.
day that tells me to drink water, like every few hours, and I still don't drink water.
We're gonna have one of the. We have one
So
of
bad.
those big water jug things for our office.
Yeah, I mean, that does make it easier, because that's when I drink water. I'm at the office, and
And you
it's
have
there
the
and
thing.
available, so.
That's why I've been
Yes.
drinking so much water, just like being around that machine.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. Anyway.
Drink water, guys.
Oh, this is a good question.
Yeah? Okay.
Do you believe in giving people second chances and why? It's a difficult one because I do believe in forgiveness and I believe in second chances for sure, but it really depends on the situation.
Yeah.
So my clean answer is yeah, I do. And hi, baby Jada's in the building. The quick answer is yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to say yes, too. I mean, listen, call me crazy, but I forgave a best friend of mine who robbed medicine from my mom. He had like an opioid issue and he was struggling, and he stole Xanax from my mom, who has a prescription for it, legitimate prescription. And that didn't end so well. And I actually forgave him over like a year and a half, because I knew he had issues. His mom passed away at a very young age. Like he's gone through a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm a very empathetic person, so I forgave him. And he ended up stealing from me again. I bought from Helen, who does the gold grills, like a set of 6 teeth for like almost $1,500. And I'm not going to get into the story, but he ended up stealing that from me. And so obviously he couldn't wear it, so he pawned it, right, for some money. And so that's the only reason why sometimes I'm a little skeptical
Exactly.
or am very like thorough when assessing if someone deserves a second chance or not. But yes, overall, I think that it's important to kind of understand people and why they do things before even considering a second chance. But
Yeah.
everyone, I think, deserves it at least once.
I'm really, yeah, definitely. Because, like, I think I really am one of those people that after the third time, I'm like, oh, no. Like,
Yeah.
I'm good,
Yeah.
you know? And then I shut
Same.
down. That's very much my trait. Is like I'll just shut it down and I'm like whatever.
And also just being someone who I feel like I've made mistakes before and I've wanted a second chance. So just knowing that I know who I am as a person and whatever I've done to someone to hurt them has genuinely not been something that I did with intent to hurt them. So I always have that hope that there's people out there like me who are genuine and truthful. So
and there are.
Yes. So yeah, second chances aren't so bad.
I agree with you.
Okay, good. So
Look
that was
we
quick
did
and
it.
easy. That was quick and easy. Okay. All right. So what's the first topic for today? Okay.
Tokischa.
Yes. So I love her, but we'll get more into that. So there is this thing on YouTube where artists perform. It's called Tiny Desk. They perform live. It's kind of like an acoustic vibe. Right?
Yeah, it's like a unplugged, and it's like a big messy room that looks like a library. It's really unsettling to me.
I like the vibe. I like
it. It unsettles me.
Cute. But anyway,
cool.
So she recently performed, and I saw this video on YouTube. I'm sorry, not on YouTube, on Instagram. And, you know, I'm a comments girl. On Instagram, that's like my favorite thing. I don't care about the images. I want to see the comments because sometimes they are so funny just to see. Not that just there's people out there that think the same way as you do, but people have like funny fucking feedback and opinions. So it's pure comedy. But anyway, I saw these comments about the video on her on Tiny Desk, and there was so many mixed opinions about how some people were saying that they feel like she's just a bad representation for Dominicans, being as big as she is right now because she grew overnight. Some other people love how liberated she is, how she just talks about anything and everything and is so free about her sexuality. So I wanted to talk about it. I wanted to hear your feedback on I mean, what you know about her and her music.
I love Tokischa. Like I'm not my first language is in Spanish, so like it's definitely like I understand what she's saying, but it's not like it takes me a few times to hear and I'm like, holy shit, what she just but
she's fresh.
She's very fresh and she's very like naughty, and I like that about her. And again, like this, we've had these conversations over and over again, like about Cardi and about Megan. It's like, let's not act like this always existed. Like that this didn't always exist. I mean,
yes.
Like we had Little Kim, we had Foxy, exactly. We have
Foxy
all of
Brown,
these, and Madonna,
Trina,
who we'll talk about. Like
Madonna.
So across culture, we have these people. Now, my thing with Tokischa and a lot of like artists and the full like industry is like, okay, Tokischa to me is a real like person from the street, that they found her. She had a good sound, and she's going to now influence the rest of music, and then because people like that, the industry will build off of that. So like for me, she's actually a real artist speaking about her experience. Whatever that is, like that's her shit. So like I respect that more than someone who's more going to take her sound, put a different spin on it, and then that's just going to be a thing. So I think she's an influencer. Like what they did to
Britney Spears and all these other girls.
Yeah, or like it's just like that. She's like really from DR. Like she's a real bitch from the streets, and she's talking about shit that she experienced, and she has a sound, right? That's her sound. It's also a sound that's existed, but like she made it mainstream. But for me, it's like you can't really judge her, I think, on the content of what she's saying. She's kind of like Cardi. She doesn't like have the mental, I guess acuity maybe of like her audience. Like we're like in a different place. We speak different languages, but we still relate to it, right? So for me, I think it's a problem for us to like have a problem with her content. Like that's her fucking shit. She's an influencer in music. I think she's popping. And it really doesn't matter because there's so many different messages. And again, free speech.
And I think too, just as a new artist, when you blow up overnight, I mean, I don't really know what that feels like, but I can only imagine like your life changes just like that. I think just that kind of like transition it's almost hard for them to kind of have regard for like the understanding of what their influence is on, let's say, little girls. I mean, and I feel very indifferent about that sometimes, depending on the artist. Like Cardi B, at one point I did feel like there were things that she was saying that I was like, oh my God. But I get it. It's all art. It's, I'm not an artist, but I get it. And I do want people to express themselves to, however that makes sense for them. I want them to really feel like that they're being their true self. And I feel like Tokischa, like Shanti said, that she's really a bitch from the streets, from DR, and what she says in her music, I believe her. I believe her, and I think she knows what she's talking about. Like she performs, I forgot where she performed in the city, but this is what she does at her shows. She gets like a little doggy bowl with water, and she like puts her ass in the air. I don't know if she's being a dog or like a cat or some shit, but she's like sucking water out of a bowl like a pet. And people have a lot to say about that. Like my mom was like, what the hell? Like,
It's
this is terrible.
definitely
And I'm like, I think it's kind of interesting, you know? Like, this is her and her, like, this. I mean, we all have a side of us that everybody doesn't know about. And I feel like this is someone who has that side who doesn't care who sees that side, right?
But that's the side of that. That's what all of us on Instagram and TikTok were reacting to that made her big, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
we were
yeah.
reacting to this like real artist. We were like, yo, for real, like
It's a lot. It's a lot.
and whether it was like it's just like that unapologetic, true like vibe.
It's the Dominican
you know?
version of Madonna, I feel.
It's interesting, which is they did do that video together, which is so fabulous.
Yeah, I think that's
in
a
the
lot of the
Bronx.
reason why they even did it, because I think Madonna instantly saw like, oh my God, this is like the only girl I've seen in a long time to come out in the world of music and do all these like really explicit things on camera, not giving a shit who's seeing her. She's fucking drinking water out of a doggy bowl. Madonna had cones on her titties. You know, like these are things that are definitely gonna make grandmas feel
It's like today's version of all of that stuff from back then.
I love it.
Again, like I do too. Like I don't have to be that to love that, to be like, it's
Exactly.
okay. I think like, and I see my sister, my nieces, like they listen, and it's not the influence that you think. Just like Little Kim and Foxy Brown weren't the influence that you thought. If anything, they taught us what not to do. Like they taught us the reality of what they had to do to make it, and we're like, okay. Well, thank God that's not the situation. But you take all that wisdom.
Little Kim's, but her album cover was her with her legs wide open.
I love it.
Remember?
Well, that wasn't the first one. The first one, she was like 16, and she was in front of the
remember.
fireplace on the bear
yeah.
rug
You
with the
see what I'm
roses.
saying?
That she was 16 years old.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So,
Dokeisha's
or
not-
19. Was she 19? She might have been 19. She was definitely a teenager. She was young. Yeah, and it was hot,
Wow.
and that's like iconic. And the
Interesting. I
best.
didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Little Kim's an
I'm
icon.
curious to know, like, how old was Biggie
Little
too
Kim,
at
the
that
queen
point?
bee.
Giving her direction like that. yeah, of course.
So cool.
Yeah, I think that's dope. I think it's dope when a guy that you're dating is like fully supportive of like expressing yourself, whatever that means. Because that's
that
hard to
would be
come
nice.
by. I'm like kind of not as wild as I used to be, but it's been hard to find a balance with people that I'm in relationships
Same.
with that I feel like don't really understand what I mean when I do things. Like, for instance, my Instagram 666. Like, people perceive that as like, oh my God, she worships
I
the
don't.
devil. And I'm like, no.
Numerology is real. Like that number is actually a really special number.
Yeah. So, shout out to, all the boyfriends out there that support their girls, whatever that means. Just want to say that, side note.
Yeah, that's a whole other episode
Yeah.
conversation. We could talk about that because no, just like the idea, like just the different levels of how people operate. I'm very interested in that.
Hell yeah. I mean, because I feel like I operate at a level that seems normal to me, but for other people, it doesn't seem so normal.
Same.
You know what I mean? Like, so, yeah.
Same.
Pero sí, Tokisha, I like her. I like her music. It's fun. I understand why some people might feel like it's a lot, because it can be a lot. It is a lot. You have to have a taste for that type of music to really enjoy and get a kick out of it and not take it so
I
seriously.
love it.
Yeah. So I think I think she did good. She actually was criticizing herself on Tiny Desk. I don't know if she was saying something about not being fully prepared. Her vocals weren't right for whatever reason. I don't know. I don't remember
She's
what
probably
she said, but
nervous.
yeah, she did say she was really nervous. Also, it was a moment for her. It's a big deal to be on Tiny Desk, I think.
Well, you got to think, for an artist from DR, like
Yes.
that's what they're watching.
That's what I'm saying.
things
She's like
this.
a superstar right now. I
It's
love
really
that for
sweet.
her. Yeah, I think it's dope. And then
And again, she'll learn as
style
she
too.
grows what her influence is and how to act, or
Yeah.
like how that will come back to her.
I
you know,
like her
even this
style, too.
situation's
She's
gonna
so
influence
out there.
her.
Like, you never know what you're gonna get with her.
Yeah.
I love it. So sassy and spicy.
It definitely, we've seen like a lot of artists come out, like even Cardi, and just be themselves, and then really like from the reaction of people just like edit themselves and kind of learn how to be more politically correct, or whatever word you want to use. It's interesting.
We'll talk about it, I think, maybe at the next episode, if it's still like a relevant topic. But the conversation right now made me think of the whole bickering between Nicki Minaj and Lotto right now.
Yeah, what's going on with that? I don't really
Honestly,
understand.
I just know something about Nicki Minaj supposedly like subtweeted her because apparently, I forgot what awards it was, but they put Nicki's song on the pop charts as opposed to rap. So she felt like so then Big Energy by Lotto should also be in the pop category and not rap. And so Lotto just felt like, you know, why would you like use me as an example? You could have used anyone else or just not use anyone. Just make your point without having to use someone. Because, you know, like, this is my moment. I'm so happy that I was nominated, and this is a moment for me. And
That's
you're taking
fair.
away from that.
I like her.
And I love her.
I
And
like
then
them
she
both.
started calling her a Karen and, like, basically questioning
called
her
who a
blackness.
Karen?
Nicki Minaj was calling her a Karen and a scratch off and all this crazy shit. And, like, it's just fucked
That's
up. And then
mean.
Lotto, to get back at her because she has to defend herself, right, was like, you know, using her age against her. Like, you're a 40-year-old bully and shit. So they were like throwing, you know, shots at each other back and forth. And then Amber Rose came on and but Amber Rose actually
I
sent
love
the
it.
message.
I
Like,
like Amber
this is
Rose.
not
She's
okay.
smart.
We should not be bickering on the internet with each
You mean
other,
no
woman to
care.
woman. Like,
Facts.
those are conversations that should be in private, and I don't think it was that deep. I agree with Lotto that she just came out and she's trying to have a moment, and she's fucking that up for her because obviously Nicki Minaj has like a huge fan base, like Beyonce has like the Beehive, right? I don't know what they call the Barbs or some shit. I don't know, but then they started bullying her on Twitter, and it's fucked up. Like, you need to understand the level of or the capacity of your fan base.
Right.
To know that if you say something about someone, they're gonna jump on the bandwagon.
And what the crossover is, you know, too.
It's not nice.
And she got a crazy fan base.
Azealia Banks has something to say about it too. She
I
told
love
Nicki
Azealia
Minaj to
Banks,
go
too.
watch her baby, that she was putting too much energy on the internet and beefing with someone on Twitter when she should be like paying attention to her
She's
child.
one to talk, but I feel you.
These bitches is crazy. My gosh.
Oh, you know, speaking of, I guess it's just walking in. We have a dab brunch today at Rise Radio every Sunday.
A what?
So a dab brunch. You're gonna do
Oh,
a dab.
that's so cute.
Yeah, we're like gonna make dabbing very fabulous. Like I
Oh,
have
you
this
said
vision of dab.
brunch. I thought she said dad brunch.
We're gonna
not different kind of cute.
next week we'll do some live promo on air or something. We'll figure it out. But
Okay.
yeah, like I have, you know, dab. Like
Yeah, I know what you mean now, but I heard you say dad.
I'm learning dab. But yeah, like imagine I have this vision of like being at a fancy restaurant and like someone just coming and giving me like the most expensive, like high quality, you know, hit from a
THC
dab
oil?
piece and a beautiful glass, you know, piece, right? And so that's what we're building here, Rise Radio, together. Come in, you can come. It's live. But hi,
Hi.
that's a guy.
So moving on, I want to quickly talk a little bit about Madonna.
Oh yeah, speaking of,
Because
we were
while
just talking
we
about
are in the topic of women, so yeah, I just also wanted to quickly shed light on the fact that people even criticize Madonna about how she's 60 years old or pushing 60. You know, she's out here wearing diamond grills, making out with the Geisha on camera for music videos, and like, you know, she's having a great fucking time, and people they're fucking hating, and it's upsetting because I feel like if anyone is out here acting that way at that age and gets a pass, it's Madonna. People over time forget how big
Iconic
some
she was.
people are. And Madonna was and still is a fucking icon. And I mean, growing up as a little girl, she for me was like everything. Like
She was my mom's
I still
everything.
till this day I want her sex coffee table book. I haven't had
Oh,
the
now I know
opportunity
what
to find it and get it.
you.
Yes, if you can find that, I want it.
I love to know what
It's
people
just hard
like.
because I have kids, so I can't have it on the coffee table. But
But
my
we could
plan
get it a
is-
glass case or
My
something.
plan is, because next year I'm going to buy my house. I'm debating if I want to buy or build. But either way, I'm going to have a separate adult living room.
I'm gonna have my own room in that bitch. Watch.
Or, you know, like an open space in my master
she shed.
bedroom. Yes. and or a she cave. Right?
Yeah.
Like man cave, she cave. And it's going to be somewhere in my house, in the open, as it deserves to be. Madonna is a fucking queen. I love her. And it's just like, for me, I'm only 35, but I know that I am someone who wants to preserve her youth as
I'm
long
25.
as possible. Who doesn't want to look good and feel good forever, you know? And whatever that means to someone, if that means getting tons of Botox and a fake booty, then you do that. You fucking do that.
Yeah, that's your own business. Wolf made a good
Yes.
point earlier, which was that like she's always kind of known how to stay culturally relevant.
Yes.
He used a different word, which is culture vulture, which is fair. Like she's just always she's been around. She was a cool girl when she was young, and so she's always had a connection with what's going on. And I relate to that. Like I could still see the young kids and be like, that's lit. Like, am I gonna
Yes.
go and do everything they're doing? No, but she's also Madonna, so
Yes.
it's to be expected. I think that she's gonna be
Yes. Like, why are you guys surprised? She's
like, she's gonna
Madonna.
be 90 years old with her tetas out,
Yes.
and like, her, you know,
And
that's just gonna be it. Just
the
get it.
key to, I mean, I'm sorry, not the key, but the hot part of the conversation around Madonna for me is the fact that she is also someone who, she has a beautiful daughter,
Oh, I
but
love Lula.
she has several adopted children. And why is that not what people are talking about when talking about Madonna? Because honestly, like, okay, yeah, she's doing all these wild, fun things, but what matters more? What she's doing to have fun that's not affecting you and fucking up your day? Or the fact that there are children in her home that had a turnout in their life that they would not have had it not been for her.
Right.
Like,
I think
they
that's
are
really
living
important.
a wonderful, happy life. Those children are well taken care of. They're educated. They're all so talented. They all play music and all sorts of different type of instruments. Like, she gave them such a great life, and I think that that's one of the most important things to think about when you're talking about Madonna. Yes, she wears cones on her boobs. She's got Botox. She makes out with women on camera. Britney Spears, Tokisha, but she's popping. She actually gives a shit about people outside of herself.
And she's also helping put people on. Like, Tokisha
Yes.
got put on majorly, I think, even like that same
Absolutely.
week that she did that video in the Bronx.
She
like,
did. She definitely created a path for many people, even like Lady Gaga. Because Lady Gaga
I love
also
her.
is very like,
But she was
out there
influenced by
and
her.
very yes, 100%.
Like,
I
that,
think a
my
lot of
favorite
people.
performance ever is literally Paparazzi, Lady Gaga, that whole performance. But that was
Amazing.
inspired
I
by
love her so
Vogue,
much.
that MTV
Yes,
performance by
yes.
Madonna. So
Oh my gosh, I love Madonna so much. She's, I mean, she's still beautiful in her own way, but Madonna in her prime to me was one of the most beautiful women ever, besides Pamela Anderson and so on and so forth.
right.
So many hot women back in the day. So shout out to Madonna, shout out to Tokisha, shout out to all the women who are living their best lives. Next topic. We're going to have to talk a little more about this next topic at our next episode because I did want to just bring it up today, but we both want to watch the full episode of Kanye West on Drink Champs. I think it's like 2 hours long.
I'm going to watch it later.
So I want to watch it, and I want to watch it from start to finish. But I did see a clip. I did see a clip of him saying that Drake is the best rapper of all time. So now to me, I'm wondering if he actually meant that or if he was fucking with Drake. Because Drake has
probably
been
trolling.
radio silent as far as I'm concerned.
'Cause I don't
Hasn't
think that's
mentioned
true.
anything. Drake definitely is a great rapper.
He's
one
prolific.
of the best rappers, but not the best rapper. Who? If you had to say one person right now, right, just one,
It's hard.
who would you say is one of the best rappers of all time?
I think Mos Def and all of those people. It's really just like not anyone here, right? Like, not a new person, I don't think yet. Kendrick's great, not the greatest, but he's like definitely the one in our generation. He's a better rapper than Drake, for sure. So like, even if we don't take it forever, but let's take it this our generation, the argument's done because we have Kendrick, I think, right? Like, but artistry different. But they're both two different artists. But I think better lyricist is definitely Kendrick Lamar.
Well, I think that's because also he has a lot more meaningful shit to say. Drake's always
He's more creative too.
I wouldn't say he's more creative. I think he's more spiritual, more political, more meaningful, more deep with his message. Drake is more about like fun, about his feelings,
Right.
about bitches, about getting money and his success.
I could
So I
say
think
artist is
at what
different. Like
they
maybe
do
male
different
artist,
things.
male hip hop artist, maybe the best of all time. But like,
Do you think Lil Wayne is one of the best?
I love Lil Wayne.
Okay, because to me, he's one of the fucking best. Lil Wayne's definitely one of
Lil
my
Wayne's the
favorite
fucking
rappers.
best.
I think one of the best rappers
Yo, you
of
see
all
his
time.
freestyles where he's like making the songs that like are the classics now. It's so
Yeah.
funny. Like, they were freestyles. It's
I
ridiculous.
think Biggie, Big Pun, Eminem, they're definitely some of the best rappers of all time to
Right.
me. Yeah, for
I would
sure.
agree.
Eminem. Like,
Eminem is.
Take it back.
I mean,
and I'm not gonna lie. At any point in time, no matter what time of day it is or what I'm going through or what's happening that day, G Unit comes on and I become a fucking gangster. Like, I am a big 50 Cent G Unit era fan for sure.
I love 50's first like major album,
Oh my
Get
God,
Rich or Die
so
Trying is
good.
one of my favorite albums of all
Yes.
time.
It's too bad because he's such a jerk.
I've been patiently
He's
waiting
such
to
a
get
jerk.
to where
But
I
I'm not
am,
gonna
but
cancel him
then
because I fuck with his music. I don't like him as a dad. I think he's gotta make better decisions.
There's also that going on with
But
his son talking
yes.
about he gets $6,700 a month and he's tight.
It's
I mean,
sad.
I get it because that's your father, but like,
Well, he was saying he don't even want the money. He wants to just have a sit down with his father and have a conversation.
it's interesting.
He said he would pay his father that just to get the conversation he's looking for. Listen, to me, it's a silent cry for help. He wants his dad in his
100%.
life. He doesn't know the best way to go about it, and this is how he
50
can
Cent
do it. And
definitely now I won't even look at him because of this whole situation. I'm like, I don't want to hear either side.
I don't like
I'm
how
just
he
like
moves.
disinterested right now.
He's always been an asshole.
I
Though,
used
to
to
his
really-
son.
I
all
did-
the time.
You're the
was
one that
just-
told me. I didn't know.
He also recently made a comment about his baby mama because she was seen, I think, hanging out with Diddy, and it's just like, that's your baby mom's. You're not together. What does it matter who she's seen with? Like, why are you even commenting on that? It's weird.
Yeah.
But 50 Cent is very childish, and
The
I
ego
think
is a very
it is
fucked
what it
up
is.
thing.
But he's talented, and many men and and a lot of his other songs.
That's
are
one
some
of my favorite songs.
fucking songs. So yeah, so shout out to G Unit and 50 Cent.
And
But we'll talk more about Kanye West next week.
I
I want to hear everything he had to say. I heard he talked a little bit about his marriage with Kim.
He said
talked
that his
about a lot of
video
different
on Drink
things.
Champs last time had more views than her SNL show.
Yeah, I gotta see that.
I
But-
would say some shit like that. I like that.
I
That's
mean, I'm sure it
good.
did.
But he should be doing that with his wife. I'd be so mad.
Yeah, like I said, I love Kanye.
I would already
as
had
an
both.
artist.
I'm not
I
gonna
love
say that.
so much of his music. I do love a lot about his personality and how how you put himself out there to make sure he was as successful as he is now.
Mm-hmm.
I love how much he loves his kids, but there's so many things that I disagree with him. But we'll talk about it. And I definitely
I need to watch the full episode before I have one. Maybe we'll do a midweek.
I'm probably gonna watch it like tonight.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna watch it tonight. I want to hear what he had to say. I want to talk about the All Lives Matter T-shirts at some point. There's so many different ways to look at this, which leads us into Candace Owens. She gets on my nerves.
She doesn't bother me. I watch her
nerves.
shit because I think like it's important to watch all the sides. She's definitely a wild bitch. Like
Well,
she
yeah.
goes in. And sometimes I'm like especially recently, I'm like, girl, you're going a little far. It's not making sense. And we've seen more and more
But now it
that
does
she's
make
a real
sense for me.
person with an ego. Like I didn't see her ego. I mean, I guess I did, but like I'm so like I don't really care. Like I don't really believe anything that I'm seeing on the screen, which is why we come on here and try to be different.
Yeah.
But like recently she's been wilding. And yeah, I don't have an opinion. I can't figure her out yet.
Well, I have an opinion based off new information I found out about her. So
that TikTok
yesterday
video.
I stumbled upon a video that was someone who went to school with her. I think it was high school. They went to high school together, right?
Mm-hmm.
They went to high school together, and she basically was kind of like bringing to everyone's attention that Candace Owens apparently experienced some really messed up crap in high school. I mean, I don't know all the details, but what I do know is that she was bullied to the extent of people threatening her life, like a group of white people, was it?
Yeah.
A group of white people.
The rich kids in her school.
They tormented her.
It was interesting
And-
because I looked after that, but she did reference that. She's spoken about this at length.
Yeah. Well, I definitely wanna. I want to do my research and see what she has talked about.
So
when
the point, yeah.
she's talked about it. I want to read more information about what other people have to say about what really happened or what they
Right.
think happened or what they experienced. But basically, she was tormented. She was bullied by a group of white people.
Yeah, and the girl,
And who was the daughter? The mayor's daughter? I think
it was the mayor's son
the
that
mayor's
did it.
son.
So then basically the NAACP, she went to them and they, put a lot of resources behind standing up for Candace. And it was a big deal because it was the mayor's son.
Oh yeah, she
who
won a
was
lawsuit. She sued
doing
them.
all this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so she
with the
basically sued
NAACP.
them, and she won a lawsuit with tons of money. And so for me now, I
With
say
the
that
argument though, like finish
I
the
say
girl's
that to
argument.
say
The girl's argument was that now
she
after
felt
the
like
NAACP
the black community didn't have
and the
her
black
back.
community had her back and stood up for her, and now her whole Brexit thing is in complete contrast to all the support that she got from the black community.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the argument is. Her argument is, no, I support the black community, but I believe that the black community is has basically been exposed to these ideas that don't fit the narrative. That's her argument.
Well, like they have like victim mentality.
That's the argument. And like the
Well,
whole
for
Kanye
me,
argument,
yeah,
the
yeah.
400
The
years
reason-
comment that was really hard, like,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
really like a rough take.
Well, the reason why I brought it up was just to say that now, I mean, Candace Owens has always been someone who got on my nerves just because I feel like she talks without thinking and she says things just for attention. But now it makes sense because to me, now I'm not
It's
even
a
mad at her.
reaction.
I feel sad because she's been through some shit. And this is her way, for me at least, in my opinion, to cope with what she's experienced and what people have done to her. And her way of kind of getting some weird, like, I guess, revenge in a weird way.
I
She's
hope, you know, that would be really sad.
Well, I mean, for me, that's what makes sense to me. Now I see her as someone who she's
reacting.
a bullied child. She's someone who has been bullied and now she's trying to stand up for herself, and this is how she stands up for herself. To me, she's one of those people that in high school would be just a cornball to me. She's still a cornball to me. I think she's very smart in the sense that she retains a lot of information, and she speaks very
Eloquently.
she's very articulate. She sounds like she knows what she's talking about when she's talking. She makes it seem like she does her research and all this other stuff, but
I think, you know what I've heard recently? I think that a lot of her
just a
ideas come from
front.
her husband, who's actually English. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not on either side, so I'll tell the truth. Like, I've felt different ways about her. I don't agree with what she says a lot of the time. And I've also heard her say over and over again, like, oh, I was talking to my husband. And, like, I talk to Jay, and it would be easy for me to get his ideas or, like, talk to anybody. But, like, I think that she's definitely influenced.
Oh yeah, I
So-
mean, listen, that's normal. Relationships, people influence each other in relationships. You know, Andrew
But he's
says
also a
all the
public and
time that I
political
talk
figure.
and I say things, and he's like, "Oh, that's what I said to you," like because. And sometimes I don't even realize that I'm saying something that he said to me. You
Right.
know, it's a natural influence as your partner, someone you live with and talk to every day. But yeah, I mean, basically that has a lot to do with what I'm saying. Like, I feel like she's like kind of like a guinea pig. She just follows everyone's lead and follows what she thinks is cool and fits what she's trying to do and the message that she's trying to get out there because she's hurt.
I'm not going to fight that because it could be true. Because it's weird. Recently, I've been aware of a different side, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this is not impartial information anymore. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, even if you're on one side, there's still a way to give that like the other side, both sides, and be impartial. Like, the left can be impartial and the right,
Well,
I
if
believe.
you think about it,
But it's too much recently. I'm like, what is happening?
Kanye West is very open about him being very hurt. He'll say, like, I'm very hurt. My feelings are hurt. And he says that a lot. And if you think about it, them coming together also makes sense. They're both people who are hurt. And they both feel like this is the way to get back, and this is the way to change the narrative, and this is the way to make things better. I don't think it's the right approach. Candace Owens, for me, I think she's so full of shit. Like, I can't.
She
Her
might
name
be.
alone gets on my nerves. I just wish she would go away for a little while, as far as like not going viral about things that she says, because people, again, we influence each other, and I'm sure there are people who watch videos where she's saying certain things and without a doubt they don't do their research and they just believe right away, oh wow, like this is a good point that she made, this is true, oh my god, I didn't think about it this way. So I think it's
Well,
important.
that's the problem with both sides is that, like,
Yeah, I
you
think
got to
it's
be
important
able
that
to
you
see,
do your
listen
research,
to
yes.
everything and just make a decision yourself
Yeah.
with your morality and really connect to yourself.
Yeah.
And, like, don't believe anything.
Yeah.
Like, I
But
don't really
that's
believe any of
hard.
these fucking
It's
people.
hard.
I
It's
know,
hard
but,
for
you know,
people
we're
to do.
older. And it takes time, but we're here to say that, like, the quicker you can do that and really just see past it.
Yeah.
Like,
There's
'cause-
a video that my son watched for school for homework.
yeah.
I was telling Shanti about it earlier, and it was just like a video on. It was 3 people who were anti-cancel culture and 3 people who were pro-cancel culture, and they sat there and they had conversations about people like R. Kelly and stuff. And so I want to share that on our Instagram, which we will.
Oh, we will.
And I also I'm gonna make
Really
it
weird.
a point to share today what we said we would share last week on Bad Bunny and like the wristbands and all the information out there to help people in Puerto Rico affected by natural disasters. But anyway, what was I saying?
Well, really, we're wrapping up
You
the
s-
whole Kanye
well,
West
yeah,
Candace
so
Owens thing.
Kanye West, Candace Owens, to me, are 2 people who are hurt, and they can easily misinform people with the things that they put out there because they do have huge audiences, especially Kanye West.
Mm-hmm.
But with the new information on Candace Owens, again, for me, It all makes sense now. Now I'm not even so much mad. I feel bad for her, and I feel bad for Kanye too.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for famous people.
Yeah.
It's rough.
Well, not just for famous people. I feel bad for everybody, even the people who are not famous.
mean-
People go through shit, and it's hard. It's
Obviously.
hard. It's hard. Life is hard. Life is fucking hard.
No, I'm just saying, like, in the lens, I don't actually feel bad for anybody. And
I
you
do.
know, like, not here. But it is what it is. I think that's where we should end it.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, we should
for
thank
me,
our-
life is hard. For her, she thinks it's not. But
No,
that's
I
what
think
makes
life
Real
is
Spicy
extremely
cool.
hard. It's actually really just the way obviously life is hard. Like, and it's just like, I choose to not sit and I can't really, maybe I can't just, that's my weakness. It's just like, I'm like, I can't even delve into that because it's so real, you know?
Yeah.
Obviously. And like, it's very easy to feel bad for yourself or feel bad for a lot of people. And it's like, I've learned that still exists, but in the day to day, I got to keep it very much functional or else I am not functional. And that's just real.
Well, maybe that'll change when you have kids.
Probably. I hope so. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm going to just whatever.
Well, shout out to everyone who watched today's episode.
Yes.
I realized we had a lot of views on our first episode coming back for season 3, which is
Very
really
nice.
fun and
Thank you
exciting.
for support. Oh,
And yes.
I want to also thank our sponsor, Uncle Bud NYC, who is now sponsoring Real Spicy Radio. Also available at Rise Radio. We got the best price in the city for our gifting program. Come by, follow Grand Rising Social Club, follow Uncle Bud NYC. I'm telling you, these apes are $25, $35.
That's crazy.
You know? So.
Oh, and save the date, December 3rd and 4th. Real Spicy and a ton of other people are coming together to do something for the holidays, to
Yes.
give back. We're still organizing everything, putting our
December
ideas
10th.
together, getting everybody on board. No, not December 10th.
What day is
That's
it?
our sleepover.
Oh.
That's our girls' slumber weekend. But yeah, the holidays are coming. So it's time to make plans, come together, see your friends and family, and kick it. The year is about to be over. We're going into 2023. Now's the time. So we're putting something together. Save the date, December 3rd and 4th. And yeah, we love you guys. Real Spicy Radio, episode 60. I love you, Shanti.
I love you, Ashley. I love you guys. I love
Let me get my other shot.
YouTube. Thank you.